What's up everybody and welcome to the channel. Now in today's video I'm going to be giving you a top 10 list of essential things that you need to take while camping. Now obviously this is just an accumulation of product that I built up over time of me being an outdoorsman. I'm not telling you to go out and buy all this stuff right now, but if you're interested in picking any of this stuff up, I'll make sure I leave links in the description box down below. Anyways guys, without further ado, let's jump right into the video. So first up, you might be looking at this table and thinking like there's definitely more than 10 items on there. Yeah, that's because I've actually broken it up into categories for you guys rather than just singular items. And I think that's gonna help you cover all your bases as well as inform you of what's out there and what you should be taking or looking to take whenever you're planning for a camping trip. And yes, I'm sure there's other things that I probably am missing out on, and you're more than welcome to let me know in the comment section down below. But until then guys, let's just go ahead and show y'all what we got. It's not listed in any sort of order of importance or anything like that, but I'm just going to start from right to left, giving you everything that I think you need to pack in each category. So first up, we're going to start right here. This is my Carhartt duffel bag. It's water resistant, nice, roomy. It's got a big old zipper right there, which fits all of my main clothes. And then it's got a small front zipper, which I like to keep external batteries and stuff like that. I'm not going to give you the specifics of what I keep in here, but if you'd like to see something like that, feel free to leave me a comment. I'll make sure I get that video out. But definitely really important to have something to pack your clothes in. Obviously, you're going camping, you're going to be gone for a few days, and what you pack is relative to where you're going camping, the conditions, and all that fun stuff. So obviously, if you're going camping in wintertime, you might want to pack a jacket, and if you're going camping in the summer, then you should probably pack a swimsuit. So anyways, next up on the list is going to be kitchen tools and utensils. So this right here is our OXO little kitchen organizer, I guess is what we call it, and pretty much it holds everything in it. We've got a cutting board up here, a smaller cutting board right here, some toothpicks, containers for sauces, jars, seasoning, whatever else, a cover for our food, and then all of our utensils. We've got Yuko titanium little sporks, we've got Gerber mess kits, we've got a can opener, we've got a tiny little pizza cutter from Pizza Forno, which you guys have probably seen on the channel. And yeah, the kit itself actually comes with this really nice fancy blade that has a lock, keeps it in there. Super nice quality. Honestly, it's really sharp as well, so I'm going to be careful. And like I said, that locks in place so the blade won't just slide out. The kit itself comes with some really nice stuff, but it really helps if you also just kind of add to it, make your own mess kit, and just kind of figure out what works for you. We've got some other stuff in there like marshmallow sticks and really whatever else you could think of. All right, next up, I'm going to kind of go behind things here. We've got another OXO little kit that we purchased off Amazon, which I'll bring it up to the front to show y'all. For example, I've got my 2 silver ant titanium plates, and those are dishes. You can put them up here or take your OXO container like this, and you can actually put utensils in there for drying once you've cleaned them as well. You can open up this kit right here, and it's basically a 3-basin sink where you can clean with water, soap, and then dry them. Really nice to have something like this. Obviously, we added to it. We got some sponges in here. We got spray bottles with soap, and we got this really nice OXO brush that's more specifically for like cast iron and stuff like that. You can use it to scrape, or it's got some really nice solid bristles there. Again, pack whatever you feel like you need. That's going to be relative to your situation. This is just kind of like a light weekend trip, so we didn't really pack too heavy. The one thing that I like is that everything packs into itself, and there's literally space for more stuff if I wanted. And all of that locks in place, securing everything as one solid piece. So really nice having something like that. If you've ever been camping, you know that dishes is the one thing that everyone hates doing. I mean, shoot, sitting at home, nobody even likes doing dishes, but doing them in the woods is even more difficult. So just take my word on it, having something like that is really nice. Next up, kind of staying on topic of the cooking utensils and stuff like that, we've got mess kits like this. Is our Stanley little 2-tier 2-cup kit. Really nice for making tea, hot chocolate, coffee, but also if you want to just cook a can of beans or corn, green beans, really whatever else you could think of. We like to throw hot dogs in there, boil them, strains them. Works out really easily, as well as in combination with our Coleman Peak 1. So this right here is pretty much like a smaller little portable cooktop that screws onto this butane right here and makes for a really nice combination. You can pretty much throw this, and that in a backpack and go wherever you want. You could probably cook up any meal you wanted to with enough creativity. And then for the big boy, we've got our big Stanley mess kit. Inside of that, we've got 2 Stanley plates, and then it comes with a frying pan, a pot, a whole bunch of other stuff, which I can get more into detail for you guys later. But pretty much you're just going to want to have some way to be able to cook your food. And then obviously we've got the big 2-burner by Coleman with our propane right here as well. So kind of giving you guys a really good tip there, having 2 different sources of gas really helps if you're in an area where you can't find propane, but you can find butane, or vice versa. Also, it kind of helps you run out of one less than the other. And if we're making something really quick, I won't even pull out the 2-burner. I'll just pull out this tiny guy with the Coleman peak and pretty much just throw the Stanley on there and cook whatever we want. So really nice, effective having both in unison. Obviously, you don't have to have both, but I definitely recommend it. And now that we've talked about all these tools and utensils for cooking and food prep, now we got to talk about the food itself, and the way I recommend you keep that is having some sort of really nice, expensive cooler. This right here is a Yeti Tundra 45, and at the time when we purchased it, it was like the main cooler that was out on the market. That was pretty much just the best thing that you could get. Now there's a whole bunch of different options that you could probably pick up on Amazon, so make sure y'all go check those out, but obviously you don't have to go out and buy a Yeti like I did, but I'm a huge fan of it. I like the color. It's held up. It's extremely durable. It's got a shelf inside, and also it can be used as a seat or a table on top. It's just a really nice quality cooler to have, and you can put a lock on it if you're camping where there might be bears. Another really obvious one after the Yeti is going to be some sort of container to hold your water, which obviously you're going to need something. So this right here is a 6-gallon. We typically bring 1 if we're just going on weekend trips, or 2 if we're going on a really long trip. I personally recommend at least a gallon a day per person, so this right here will last us like 3 days if that. And now that you've cooked and you've cleaned and ate all your food, obviously it's got to come out the other end, guys. So you got to keep a toilet with you and some toiletries. Obviously, again, I'm not going to get into the specifics of what you should take because that's going to be relative to you as a person, but the one thing I can put you on are these dude wipes. I don't know about y'all, but I think this is probably the best thing that's ever happened to men. And yeah, I mean, once I started using these, I never looked back. Guys, if y'all haven't picked up any dude wipes, highly suggest it. Also, gentlemen, make sure you have some sort of a bag to carry your toiletries in. But yeah, we got a toilet that packs away, as well as a shade or cover for changing, toilet use, whatever else you want to use it for. It's pretty nice, but it's pretty much like a little beach pop-up shade that you can use for really anything. So now that you've secured your basic needs like food, water, using the restroom, next up, we're going to obviously have to talk about the fact that you're going to need a tent when you're going camping. Unless you just plan to stay in your car the whole time, you need some way to sleep. If you want to enjoy the stars, if you want to enjoy having some sunshine on your skin when you wake up, and maybe just enjoying a cool breeze throughout the night. We've got a rooftop tent with a tailgater. I've got a full breakdown video of that, guys. If y'all haven't seen that, make sure y'all head over to that full video, check it out. It's really cool and interesting. But yeah, guys, you're going to want to have a tent or some shelter. Whoa. Freaking wasp. All right, my bad, guys. You're going to want to have a roof. You're going to want to have a shelter over your head. Anyways, now that we've talked about all the essentials, the rest of this stuff isn't as important, but I definitely recommend having it just based off of experience. So one of the categories I want to mention is furniture. This little chair right here is amazing, or having some sort of a hammock, or maybe you have some sort of a rollout. Maybe you've got a dog that wants to lay on it. Maybe you're at the beach and you want to lay out on the beach, but you just don't want to get covered in sand. Literally, there's a whole bunch of different things you could have in terms of furniture, in terms of camping, and making things a lot more comfortable when you're in nature. And another category I want to jump into is going to be electronics. So obviously you're going camping, you don't want to take too much. You want to enjoy nature for what it is, right? But obviously you want to be able to have some way to see. You want to have a power bank, and I definitely don't think you could go wrong with having some sort of a fan. It makes things amazing. So that right there is an M18 Milwaukee fan. Super nice, super high powered. I've got a 6.0 battery. That right there will run for like 3 days straight nonstop. And then we have a solar powered battery bank, a really nice light for our rooftop tent that charges pretty easily, shoots vertically or horizontally. So if I was like working underneath the vehicle or something like that, changing a tire, it's really nice to have. I could stand it up. And then I've got my 1,000 lumen flashlight right here, which honestly, this thing will light up a whole campsite if I need it to. If I hear something weird at night, I'll just light the whole place up and probably see some deer or armadillos just walking around. And then we've got some really cheap, really affordable, easy to access, easy to use headlamps right there from Amazon. They were like 10 bucks, came with a pack of 2. Honestly, if you beat them up, you're not too worried about them because you only spent 5 bucks a headlight. So really nice having something like that. And apart from that, I do recommend having a camp light. This right here is our Coleman. We've got a whole bunch others. This is just the one that I chose to show off because it kind of fit the whole red and black theme. But yeah, you don't have to go get that specific one, guys. Just make sure you have some sort of a camp light to be able to put either inside of your tent, or maybe just put it out here on the table. If you're cooking, you want to be able to see what you're doing. Yeah, it's really important. I think a lot of people forget stuff like that. And for the final category, I saved the best for last. So thank you guys for staying tuned. This right here is a Noco Pro Jump Start. Pretty much if you're in the woods or you're somewhere where you can't call for help, this will jumpstart your whole car. Super easy. I mean, I've literally jump started probably like 20 to 30 vehicles with it already on the same charge. Like I haven't had to recharge it. So the battery itself really does hold up. And then behind that, I've got my Energizer air compressor, which can measure and also air up my tires as needed. So for example, if I'm in an area where my tires need to be lowered, like I'm on the beach or something like that, I could lower them and then measure them. Or for example, say my tire was low and I was in the woods and I couldn't call anybody for help. Well, I don't really need to. This right here will air up my tires for me. It'll tell me the exact pressure that they're at, and it has a light on it as well, so I could air it up in the dark. Apart from having some sort of air compressor and a jump start for your car, lastly, you always got to have some sort of a first aid kit. You never know when you're going to get cut, burned, bruised, scraped, or whatever else might happen. I like to keep a first aid kit, and I actually will load it up with stuff aftermarket. So I'll go to Walmart, or I'll go to Target, I'll go to CVS, wherever, pick up a whole bunch of stuff and actually stuff it inside of this right here. So this is a pretty loaded kit. I know that if anything were to happen, I'd be able to act pretty quickly and it might save the day. So yeah, I definitely recommend having just a first aid kit always handy. Keep it close by and keep it easily accessible. And that's the entire essential list for everything that you need to take camping or on a road trip. Now, obviously, this is just an accumulation of product that I've collected throughout the years. I'm not telling you to rush out and go buy all this stuff right now, but if you can get it, it could help you in a pinch, or it could just make everything that much better when you're outdoors trying to have a good time. Thank you guys so much for clicking to watch. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed this type of content, and drop me a comment down below for anything that I might have left off the list. Make sure you hit the subscribe and notification bell to stay following along for more amazing videos just like this. And until next time, guys, keep it cool and happy camping.